Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to start by congratulating you for being one of the 1,000 selected 64,000 applicants for this fellowship. Congratulations. Give me a clap if you want to, but that statistics gets me sad. Really, really sad. Do you know in Africa at the moment, we have about 130 million people between the age of 25 to 35. Now 64,000 people applied. What could have been the problem? They weren't seeing themselves as young African leaders. They didn't have the right education or the right orientation, or they just simply were not informed. Permit me to start by saying a prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You see, I know the prayer often because I've had to say it so many times in my life. I grew up in a community where my parents had to work 16 hours per day just to be able to put food on the table and send us transport fare to school. We were subjected to a lot of social vices and violence. I and my 4 younger siblings were mentored by thugs, drunkards, and bus drivers and conductors. The height of it was when my mom lost both of her eyes. She could not see till date just because she was ignorant. She did not go to school. And because she did not go to school, we're not rich enough to be able to afford the needed health care. Those were the things, before you start pitying me, those were the things I could not change. But then, by the help of a mentor, I learned early enough in life the things that I could change. And I embraced with all courage to change them. I went to school on scholarship, and at the end of the school, I said to myself, I am going to replicate myself. So I've been on a mission and a journey to replicate myself, creating 1,000 of me across Africa. It's a very big dream. I cannot do it alone. But then looking at those faces, I could imagine 1,000 of you, 1,000 of you, 1,000 of you, 1,000 of you, and 1,000 of me. What would be life after death? We may not be able to change what has happened in the past, but we are the anchors and authors of the future. We are the authors of our own biographies. We can actually not be able to. My story is really similar to the story of Africa, and you can relate with a lot of close to 200 million teenagers growing in Africa in those slums and in communities that have similar stories to mine. So we may not be able to change the things that led every one of us to that position, but we can change the future. We can create a new future. We might not be able to change the narrative of our corrupt political and civic leaders, but we can change the future. I cannot do it alone. I need you to embrace the spirit of Ubuntu and synergizing our strengths and skills, collaborating, not fighting or competing for the same grants, but coming together with a Pan-African agenda to carve out and ensure a better future for Africa by carving out ourselves and pouring out ourselves into the future. The best way to create a future is to create ourselves in the minds of the people who will live in it, who are the teenagers and people growing. So imagine creating 1,000 of you in the teenagers who will be. The UN might have described the Africa as a tickling time bomb, but I think it's a narrative we can change before that time. So with Ubuntu, I think we can save the future. Thank you.